And go.
Hey, welcome back, MobilityWOD. We are here with the Diane Fu, and we're going to talk about one of the problems we see a lot, common mistakes that we see in Olympic lifters, which is, or kids learn in Olympic lift, which is the low elbows. Now, we sort of have this concept that once you start entering the tunnel under load, I've got 400 pounds on the bar or a heavy full clean. Is it possible to get my elbows up out of the bottom?
Oh yeah, totally.
I'm confused. So what ends up happening is that once we see that elbows up cue go out in the world, it's almost like, why are you wasting your time? Because there's no way elbows are coming up. And one of the problems that we've seen is that when people are in that front rack position and they're in a soft shoulder organization, the tissues of the back don't wind up and support a stable upright back extension position. That when she externally rotates the shoulder into the socket, brings her hand up, it doesn't actually touch her shoulder or her face. This externally rotated stable shoulder position, up long arms that go out in here, short arms that come in. But this position, this externally rotated stable position, allows her to go from a stable position in the jerk to a stable position in the jerk, but also it keeps all of the musculature and fascia and connective tissue of the upper back stable. And so when you're in a good front rack position, it's actually impossible to really drop your elbows. Is that true?
True.
True. And so you'll see that one of the, how many good Olympic lifters do we know that have their hands in narrow?
None that I know.
That'd be none. So what the hell is going on? And one of the things that we're seeing is that we want you guys to understand that the cue for the front rack about this elbows up is really a cue about saying, hey, you probably aren't in a stable rack position to begin with. And so one of the things we talk about is where do you grab the bar? Well, if I actually rotate Diana's shoulder and then flip her hand over, that's the same position, which may be a little bit more than a thumb away from the bar, right? So one of the things that you're working with your athletes is, this is a good start, but it doesn't actually reflect the anatomy, which is out right here. So can we get you into a good stable position? Second cue to tie this back in, people have worked this out. In the back squats, go ahead, we were back squatting this morning, one of the common mistakes we see is that elbows fly up and high. And not only does that lead us into this bent over position, go ahead and unrack that thing, Di. In this bent over position with our elbows high, but we see the same phenomenon, that the upper back tissues aren't very organized. When our elbows come down, like Jesse Burdick and Mark Bell and all my strong friends tell me to do, is that not only do I support the load with my arms and unload the wrist, but the back tissues become up and more stable and organized, and you feel like you get a lot tighter, right? In this position, get as tight for me. Whoa. You can't. I have to put Diane into weak positions to try to beat her. As soon as I see Diane adopt a stable position, bam, the back musculature tightens up, and we have to see a lot less cueing of chest up in that bottom position. Anything else you want to add, Coach Dad?
Yep, that was solid.
There you go. Key concept, get your shoulders into a good position, because remember, this reciprocating torque concept is that I create a stable platform. The torque I create off of the limb, especially off a fixed surface, allows me to keep my torso more upright. See you guys tomorrow.
Oh.